So if you live in the UK, you've probably heard of the programme Panorama. It's an investigative programme that has some episodes that are actually quite interesting, and it's usually well shot with a clear narrative. But their most recent episode was based around social media influencers, and this episode featured a story on my mate, Morgz.
Most YouTubers tell their camera nearly everything, and it almost makes you feel like you know the person even though you've never met them. When you're watching them, it's like you've got a window into their life.
So right off the bat, this kid makes a really good point. You do have this window into a YouTuber's life, but kids struggle to understand that the majority of these YouTubers are just doing it for the money. Morgz is literally the king of family-friendly content, with 17 ads on each video, and the naive kids watching his videos probably don't understand that his content is all fake. I think some YouTubers lend so much of themselves to a younger audience that they almost see this influencer as a friend. We see this more often in micro-influencers than bigger people like Morgz, but there are influencers that don't keep anything from their audience, which can result in things like this, especially when your audience is young like Morgz's is.
He normally does quite family-friendly content, just stuff that would appeal to quite a lot of kids.
What?
Morgz is only 17 himself. On one post, he seemed ecstatic.
Worth $776!
So Morgz was promoting Mystery Brand, and to be honest, this is the first I'd heard of it. When the whole Rice Gum and Jake Paul Mystery Brand controversy was happening, I saw people talking about Guava Juice, who is a family-friendly channel that was promoting Mystery Brand, but I never saw anyone mention Morgz. The only video I could find that mentioned him was a small YouTuber called Piku that I'll link in the description.
Morgz was promoting Mystery Brand. It looks like a game, but it actually involves spending real money to try to win a top prize, much like gambling.
So here Panorama are comparing Mystery Brand to gambling, and let's be honest, it is. They probably have a way to get around it, but you're effectively spinning a wheel and you don't know what you're getting back. It's probably not classed as gambling because you're guaranteed to get at least something back every time you buy a case, but it's still being a cunt if you promote it.
Matty never had to give his age. He spent his birthday money trying to win the expensive PC.
What happened then?
I won a keyring and a pot of slime.
A fucking pot of slime. I mean, it's not quite what he was looking for, and it's definitely not worth 35 quid. But he goes on to say this as well.
It never arrived.
So you ended up with absolutely nothing?
Yeah, nothing at all. £35 vanished.
What do you think about Morgz?
He knows that his fan base is mostly children around this age, and that he would promote something that is gambling. It's very bad.
So this kid actually seems pretty switched on, and he mentions that the items that he did win never actually got sent to his house, which is awful. But Panorama reached out to Morgz for a statement where he said this.
Morgz has told Panorama he was assured the site was an e-commerce store, but accepts he was naive. He's removed the video and apologises to his followers. He hasn't denied that he was paid to promote Mystery Brand.
So Morgz was obviously very naive in accepting the offer to promote this brand, and YouTubers losing their integrity is becoming more and more common nowadays. Like, when you have a really young audience, in my opinion, you should be extra careful when vetting a brand before you promote it. They mentioned he didn't deny whether he was paid to promote the brand, but he obviously was. Keemstar was offered something ridiculous like 100 grand to promote it, and Morgz has even more subs than Keem. Therefore, he was probably offered even more to promote it. And you can say, if I had 100 grand waved in front of my face, and all I had to do was make one video, then I'd do it. But if I was Morgz, I definitely wouldn't. If you haven't seen my previous video on Morgz, I mentioned that this guy is 17 and makes some people's yearly salaries off of one video. So he doesn't need the money, but he still took it.
They're a big influence, aren't they, on sort of teenagers, so I mean, they should be being careful what they sort of put on. They should be regulated so that people of his age aren't like, oh, that looks good, but they're going to, aren't they? They're going to think, oh, he does it, so that looks really good, I'm going to do it.
This kid's mum actually makes a really good point here, that maybe brand deals should be externally regulated before they are posted onto YouTube, because there has been a lot of controversy in recent months, not just surrounding Jake Paul and Rice Gum. People like Gabby Hanna and Tana Mongoose also promoted a brand that wasn't sending out products. Of course, there are people that do vet brands properly, like Shane Dawson, Yogscast, and other big YouTubers. But obviously, the ones that get picked up by the mainstream media are the controversies.
Mystery Brand's website is still online and is now being investigated by the Gambling Commission. We've had no response to emails we sent to the address on the site. YouTube told Panorama that creators must ensure their content complies with local laws and YouTube guidelines, including disclosing if they've been paid to endorse products. They also said that they take action quickly if videos violate these policies.
So YouTube have come out and said that it has to follow YouTube guidelines and local laws, including disclosing an advert properly and saying if they're getting paid. But one thing YouTube is a big fan of is vloggers. They're family friendly, they get a lot of views, and advertisers love them. But one person was recently investigated for not disclosing advertising properly. Zoella. Yet YouTube still push her videos to people's recommended every time she uploads. I'm going to leave today's video there, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll leave my Twitter in the description below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.